This week was New Year's and my birthday, so you know I put out bangers, so stay tuned. Hey, what's going on? Hunter here and welcome back to my channel where I upload weekly fragrance content. So of course, hit the subscribe button down below and also make sure to follow me over on my Instagram page. So of course, my weekly fragrance rotations, if you are new to the series, I basically run down what fragrance I wore on each day, how many sprays, the kind of weather, and of course, if that particular fragrance get any compliments or not. So let's get right into the week. Sunday was New Year's Eve and it was in the high 30s and snowy outside, and I pulled out a new fragrance in my collection and it fit perfect for New Year's Eve, and it's coming from Afnan and this is 9 p.m. which I actually just recently reviewed. If you're not familiar with this fragrance, it does get compared to Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultramalt, but I actually think this might be even better, especially for the price you can get it at. Very fruity, playful, and sweet vanilla is what 9 p.m. basically is in a bottle. And it will get you a ton of attention if you wear it around the right people, without a doubt. For New Year's Eve though, I did go 10 sprays of 9 p.m. and this stuff is actually basically nuclear, very strong fragrance. You could catch my full review on YouTube, and didn't get any compliments with 9 p.m. but trust me, this is gonna be heavy in the rotation, especially for the winter. Monday was in the high 30s and cloudy outside, and of course it was New Year's. And I put out another fragrance that I just got in the collection. It's actually a cheapie and a cologne, which I found at the rack stores. It is Milestone Perfumes, and this is Desert Oud, which is actually cloning Dolce & Gabbana's, I believe, Velvet Desert Oud, which I actually haven't tried anything from the Dolce & Gabbana higher end collection. And I kind of want to, especially after trying these clones, which I actually have 4 of them now, and they're not that bad, especially for like the $14.99 you can find these at. Desert Oud, however, is like a smoky incense, oud, and amber based fragrance, which does actually remind me of another fragrance later on in this weekly fragrance rotation, which I just got. If you do love those smoky, oudy fragrances and you are on a budget, this might be one you want to check out. The performance was decent. Not the best, especially for being in this kind of realm of DNA. At the end of the day, it's not the biggest deal because you're not breaking the bank with it. Now, on New Year's, I did go with 6 sprays of Desert Oud. Didn't really do much besides kind of just chill, get my New Year's resolutions kind of in check, and I hope you guys have been following those as well and keeping yourself accountable. I am certainly trying to be disciplined with my New Year's resolutions, and it has been a week so far, so I'm on the right track. But no compliments because I didn't really do much, but that's what I chose to wear for Monday. Tuesday was in the mid 30s and cloudy outside, and I put out another new fragrance in the collection. It is Afnan's Supremacy in Oud. So just how 9 p.m. was inspired by Ultramalt, this is definitely inspired by Oud for Greatness by Initio. However, it does change up a little bit because with Supremacy in Oud, this takes a much sweeter route to that DNA, but still recognizable as Oud for Greatness, which in my opinion is probably one of the best oud-based fragrances out there. Unfortunately, I no longer have a bottle of it. You get a spicy saffron, you get that oud, and I basically would describe it as a masculine Baccarat Rouge 540, which is of course the same case with this one. And the performance with Supremacy in Oud is out of this world. Easily will last you all day long, and I will definitely be reviewing this very soon. But on Tuesday, I did go 10 sprays of this one to get a full, complete wearing, which a lot of people would say is overboard, which it might be, especially for something like this, but I really don't care. No compliments, and I wouldn't really say this is a compliment getter just because it does actually have that barnyardy oud with some sweetness and some spicy saffron. But at the end of the day, an absolutely lovely creation by Afnan, and there's some other ones I want to check out from this house, so hopefully I'll get my hands on those soon. Wednesday was also in the mid 30s and cloudy, and I went with Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Gentle Fluidity Silver, an absolute perfect signature scent worthy versatile fragrance if I've ever smelled one. You get an aromatic juniper berry, some clean musk in here, and it also reminds me of Creed Green Irish Tweed, which I'm not really the biggest fan of that DNA, but for some reason I love this one. So if you are kind of like me and you're not the biggest fan of GIT or even if you are, this is one you're gonna wanna check out. I did go 10 sprays yet again with Gentle Fluidity Silver. 10 sprays has recently been my sweet spot when it comes to my spraying routine. It is very subjective on how many sprays to do. A lot of people will do 2 sprays, some people will do 5, some people will do 10, and some people even do like 20. So it's all just personal preference at the end of the day. But I actually did get 2 compliments from 2 co-workers. The first one kind of came over to me and said, let's see what you're wearing today. Got a little bit close and she was like, whoa, what is that? That smells great. So she was very surprised on how good this one smelled and asked if it was unisex. I said yeah, but I kind of recommended her to maybe check out Gentle Fluidity Gold, which does lean a little bit more feminine compared to this one. She also said it smelled a little bit fruity, which I could see because of the juniper berries, which is somewhat of a fruit. Even though it doesn't turn extremely fruity, it more so turns aromatic and green. But yeah, there is juniper berries in it. And then I had another coworker come over and she said that it smelled very good and kind of clean. So if you're looking for a signature scent that will get you compliments, go with Gentle Fluidity Silver. And I think for the price, especially coming from MFK and being a niche brand, it's actually worth it. Thursday was in the low 30s and snowy, and it happened to be my birthday, and go figure, on my birthday was the coldest day of the week. And can you guys guess what my fragrance of the day was for my birthday? Some of you might, because it's my signature scent, Bulgari Tiger. I mean, come on, for my special day, I have to go with my signature scent. And this is probably one of my favorite freshies. It's just an absolute masterpiece, even though it's very simplistic. I honestly don't have to talk much about Tiger because I talk about it so much because I just love this fragrance. And there's a lot of similar fragrances to it and a lot of clones, which even though I'm a huge fan of Tiger, I would probably recommend most of you guys actually get a clone of it because the clones come nearly identical, which is hard to say because these are $400 a bottle. Also did 10 sprays of Tiger, and the performance, especially for a freshie like this, is actually very much respectable, so no complaints with performance. Got no compliments with this one, but in the past, man, people lose their mind over this DNA. Friday was in the low 30s and cloudy outside, and I decided to go with this one because it brings back quite a bit of memories and was one of my first niche fragrances in my collection, and I consider this to be a niche brand, and it is Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. So this is a very like nutty almond, fruity cherry with some creamy spicy vanilla, and it's honestly to die for. Very, very seductive. Just to touch on Guerlain for a second, because I see a lot of people talk about this being a designer. This is not a designer fragrance. Guerlain is not a designer brand, guys. And what makes a designer is a brand that sells other things besides fragrances and cosmetics, such as either accessories, clothing, things like that, maybe leather goods, etc. But Guerlain only makes fragrances and cosmetics, and they've done it for over 100 years. So they are a niche brand, regardless if you can get these under $100 or not, it doesn't matter. On Friday though, I actually did do some shopping. I went to Louis Vuitton, picked up a fragrance there that you will see tomorrow and the next day at least, which I'm so glad to have in the collection. And it's funny because I got a quick story for you. When I was in Louis Vuitton smelling them, the sales associate was there, of course, and I was kind of hating on Pacific Chill, and she asked me why I don't like it, and obviously I explained to her. If you watch my review, I did give it a pretty bad review. Being a Louis Vuitton fanboy, you could say perhaps, I still have to keep it honest. And it's funny because she went to go grab my bottle and came back, and I noticed she was actually wearing Pacific Chill. I was like, wait a minute, are you wearing Pacific Chill? And she was, and I kind of felt bad. I was like, yeah, I can actually see Pacific Chill working better on a woman, which I do. It's way too fruity from the apricot for my liking. So I thought I would just share that with you guys. But on that day, of course, I did 10 sprays of L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. No compliments, but wow, guys. An absolute must-have in your collection if you're a fragrance enthusiast. Saturday was also in the mid-30s and snowy outside, and I pulled out my new Louis Vuitton. You guys might know what it is because you probably see it missing over there. And it is, of course, the Dark Beast Nuit de Faux. Honestly, guys, this makes Ombre Nomad seem like a mass appealing fragrance. That is how daring, mysterious, and challenging this one is. You get a very cold, like a frigid, cold incense note in here, along with a very barnyardy, earthy oud and an animalic leather. This is certainly not going to be for everybody besides the true fragrance enthusiasts, because the majority of people will not appreciate this one and will smell it and kind of be like, whoa, what is that? But for me, I love my incense fragrances, I love my oud fragrances, and I love my animalic fragrances, so this is right up my alley. And we'll absolutely have to review this one soon, and it might be one of my new favorites from Louis Vuitton. I did do 6 sprays of Nuit de Faux, absolute nuclear beast mode fragrance that will easily get you around 12 hours of longevity. This stuff is no joke. Also got no compliments from Nuit de Faux. However, if you want the dark horse from Louis Vuitton, get your hands on this one. But that's gonna do it for my weekly fragrance rotation. As always, leave a like on the video down below. Subscribe if you guys haven't already, and you already know I'll see all of you back here in my next upload. Take care, everybody.